how can exercises aggravate or increase your back pain? So we're going to dive deep into that. We're going to talk about what aggravates the spine and the discs and how to navigate that. By the way, my name is Dr. Ryan Peebles. I've dedicated the last 20 years of my life to better understanding and reversing the root causes of chronic lower back pain. Movement is helpful, and it can also be harmful. It's not only dependent on what you're doing, but it depends on the state of your body or the person's body that's doing those activities. And so nothing is black or white in this context, because there's so many factors that this depends on. And fear-based movement is a really big issue in the back pain population. And so this is a topic I also feel very passionate about and address. It's like, what can I do that's not going to hurt me? And if I don't know what that is, then I'm going to do nothing, which is also bad for the spine. And that is probably a big reason why this is such a huge cycle that people fall into. And the solutions that we are doing actually are perpetuating the problem. And in my own personal experience, what I've found is if you can find something to do that is right, so one small thing, you can build on that. It actually makes your body, if over a period of time, if you can build on that, it makes your body more tolerant to be able to do more things and more movement. When we are asking ourselves, what exercises should we do and what exercises should we avoid, we have to take into account what's causing the problem in the first place. The first question we want to ask is, what actually aggravates the spine and the discs? The first thing is just excessive levels of vibration, friction, force, impact, pressure, stuff like that. We can lump that all together and we'll call it repetitive trauma. So that would be, more relevant to people that have an existing history of back pain. Somebody that has a healthy spine and doesn't really have, a history of back pain, their spine could probably tolerate stuff like this. The discs are extremely resilient material. And so the spine is designed to be able to handle this. But if you have an existing problem and an imbalance that's been going on for a long time, then these things will irritate your back. Horseback riding, off-roading. On my personal journey, I remember having a huge setback after using a jackhammer to break up a sidewalk. I don't really recommend that for, if you have degenerative disc disease, because that kind of vibration can increase the degeneration. So yeah, and friction is included in that as well. And so we'll talk more about that in a minute. This is really an important topic for me, and I teach a lot about muscle imbalances. So poor alignment of the vertebrae, of the discs, of the spine in general. Another way you can say that is joint incongruency. You want your joints to be congruent. That's how they operate the best. And so this is congruent, where this, if this was your hip joint, would be incongruent, and there's going to be friction occurring there. And so that relates back up to bullet point number 1. If your joints are out of alignment or incongruent, you're going to have increased friction no matter what you do. And so this, I believe, is the most important topic for anybody when we're talking about what irritates the spine. As the spine likes to be congruent, all joints like to be congruent. The spine is out of alignment. We can see that if you look at this one's a little more in alignment, the bones are not as approximated, and this one, the bones are touching. So there's more friction, right? So that is a result of muscle imbalances, of poor alignment, but it contributes to bullet point number 1, which is excessive friction, and that's going to irritate the spine. So it is, I think, the number 1 most important building block is to have alignment in your spine. These muscle imbalances aren't only limited to the lower back. They extend throughout the entire body, and they can extend up into the head and cause tension headaches. And there is a predictable pattern of full body muscle imbalances. We're always dealing with the full body when we're dealing with chronic pain. Trauma, acute trauma, a broken bone, we don't necessarily have to deal with the whole body, but when we're dealing with long-standing issues, it extends through the entire body, and so we need to look at it that way. This is a common cause of tension headaches because your neck muscles do go up and attach into your head, and that can be a source of headaches and TMJ. I've had TMJ in the past as well. So all of this relates. I remember when I had TMJ, and that was part of my realization that this is my lower back pain that I had been having for many years is related to the neck pain too and the TMJ too. And this is a full body issue. And so that is something that happens with muscle tension and imbalances. Those muscles that are attaching to all your bones and joints, if they get out of balance, they pull those bones and joints out of alignment. And so much more education about that in the masterclass and lots of other my resources. And so in my opinion, the solution of what exercises to do is it's those exercises that help bring your body back towards balance. And so in the beginning, they have to be pretty gentle. They have to be pretty low intensity. And if they are exercises that are bending the spine or flexing the spine or extending the spine, and the body is trying to do the opposite of that by reduce the amount of movement in the spine through muscle tension, then we're not helping our cause. And so in the beginning, exercises that just restore balance, activation exercises of the muscles on the front of the spine and the sides of the spine, and gradually increase the progression of those. And as the muscles of the body get more balanced, and we can start to move towards this kind of posture right here, then we can start doing more activities. Because like I mentioned earlier, if the spine is in alignment, it can handle a lot more friction, a lot more vibration, a lot more force. Again, if you're asking yourself what exercises, if you have severe muscle imbalances, almost anything is going, in exercise-wise, is going to irritate it, except those gentle exercises that are helping bring your body back towards balance, bring your joints back towards alignment and congruency. Those are the things that your body's going to go, yes, wow, I'm going to send you good feelings because you're doing the right thing. And the body does do that. It sends good feelings just in the same way that it sends pain. And so you need to listen to those good feelings and do more of the things that cause those good feelings with regards to rehabilitating your body. You know, it might allow you to then do the bridge without pain. And the bridge has massive potential to bring your body back into balance, which would make your body more resilient to even more activities. And so it's a tough place to be at the very bottom, at the rock bottom of lower back pain, because doing things hurt and doing nothing hurts. And I was there for years, probably 7 or 8 years, where I was like, you know, the only thing that feels good to me is going to physical therapy. And I went to physical therapy 3 times a week for most of those years, and it helped. It didn't solve my problem in the long run because I didn't learn a new relationship with my body. I was just being treated by someone with their hands and their modalities, and also doing safe guided exercises. And so it wasn't until I learned how to operate my body in a healthier way, you know, in my daily life, not just at the gym, but doing yard work and doing daily life activities and having my body be in a more balanced state, that it was what I felt like was a solution. And at that state, then you are gradually developing the confidence to get out of this fear-based movement cycle. You can't do nothing. You have to do something, and it's starting somewhere some activity that you know that doesn't hurt you and can potentially make you feel a little bit, tiny bit better, and then build on that. And for a lot of people, that's walking. I do highly recommend walking. I've talked a lot about that in other streams, and so that could be a great place to start. But for some people, walking actually hurts, and so that's where it's most likely going to require getting down on the floor, to use the floor as a source of alignment and learning a connection to the muscles, you know, to reactivate these muscles that have probably gone to sleep a long time ago. We will be back again next week with another topic. Until then, go do something healthy for your body. That means going for a walk like what I'm about to go do, then do that. And if not, find some time to get down on the floor and connect to your core.